From a silent island in the sea came a roar that shook Iran. One bomber, one mission, zero warnings. This is the strike that no one saw coming, and the silence that followed may cost us all. In the heart of the Indian Ocean lies an island few have heard of, and even fewer have ever seen. It's not a tourist spot, nor is it a sovereign nation. That island, Diego Garcia, appears silent on the surface, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful and secretive military hubs in the world. Diego Garcia is part of the Chagos Archipelago, a British overseas territory that has been leased to the United States since the 1960s, located around 4,700 kilometers southwest of Iran and about 1,800 kilometers south of India. This island is geographically isolated, yet strategically critical. What happens here is invisible to the world, but its impact reaches across continents. On June 21st, 2025, global headlines lit up with reports of a devastating strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. The alleged attacker, the United States. And the aircraft involved, the fearsome B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, one of the deadliest and most advanced weapons of modern warfare. This bomber is capable of flying faster than the speed of sound, operating at 50,000 feet and carrying over 18,000 kilograms of explosives. It can strike targets deep underground with its GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, a bomb specifically designed to destroy fortified bunkers. This same bomber was used during the Afghanistan war, and now it has reportedly struck Iran's key nuclear facilities, Fordo Natanz and Isfahan, were the main targets. These sites were built deep beneath the earth to withstand ordinary attacks, but the U.S. didn't send ordinary bombs. The B-2 South, possibly launched from Diego Garcia or Guam, delivered bunker-busting bombs that penetrated even the most secure underground structures. This attack was not just a military action, it was a calculated message. The United States can strike anywhere, at any time, without being seen. Iran quickly condemned the attack as an act of war. Leaders in Tehran vowed retaliation and warned that Diego Garcia itself was now a legitimate military target. But there was a problem. Iran's missile range maxes out at around 3,000 kilometers, and Diego Garcia lies well beyond that. Over 5,000 kilometers away, in practical terms, Iran has no direct way to hit back, and while the missiles may not fly in return, tensions are sky-high. At that very moment, 58 Muslim nations were gathered in Turkey for a leadership summit. But as Iran burned, the collective response was silence. No action, no unity, no defense. Statements of concern were issued, but not a single strategic step was taken. The leaders of these countries, many of whom rely on Western powers economically or militarily, remained frozen, some perhaps afraid, others indifferent. And thus, once again, the Muslim world watched in silence as one of its own was attacked. This silence didn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of decades of disunity, distraction, and decay. After the fall of the Ottoman Caliphate, the Muslim world splintered into dozens of nations, each pursuing its own interests, building its own palaces, and holding its own parades. While the West invested in satellites, cyber warfare, and hypersonic missiles, much of the Muslim world poured its resources into luxury, vanity, and ceremonial politics. In this great imbalance of power, Muslim rulers fell behind. Western powers developed stealth bombers. Muslim leaders built banquet halls. Western nations formed military alliances. Muslim states argued over borders, flags, and pride. And now, that disparity is costing lives. Today it's Iran. Tomorrow it could be someone else, and the day after that, another. But as one domino falls, the others stand quietly, hoping, perhaps foolishly, that they will be spared. So what can the ordinary people do? Not much, some would say. But millions of people across the Muslim world are not blind. From small villages to sprawling cities, from the mosques of Jakarta to the streets of Lahore, people are praying. They are weeping. They are asking, where are our leaders? Where is our unity? Where is our defense? They raise their hands, not in surrender, but in prayer. O Allah, protect the people of Iran. Protect Palestine. Protect all. The oppressed Muslims across the world, grant us wisdom, unity, and strength. Ameen. Because the reality is painful. This was not just an attack on Iran. It was an attack on every nation that chooses to remain asleep. It was a strike against those who fail to prepare, who hope their neutrality will keep them safe, who forget that power respects only power. Diego Garcia did not speak. It did not show itself. But it reminded the world that modern warfare is invisible, and that those who aren't ready will only see it when it's too late. Now is the time to wake up. Now is the time for the Muslim world to rebuild. Not just weapons, but unity. And not just armies, but intelligence. Not just borders, but brotherhood. Because if we don't stand together, we will surely fall one by one. And perhaps by then, even our prayers may not be enough.